of you out there say I'm scary. So I decided to start talking more and set the record straight. I've been living up here on the internet for years while you guys have been clicking away and making me say Klasky Chupo literally millions of times. I'm an Hey, what's up with that? I mean, how many times can you say the same two words, those weird names? One's Hungarian and the other's Polish. Together they sound Hungolish. Some people think Klasky Chupo are my parents. They're not. Wow, if you met them, you'd see I'm much better looking. My real dad's an ink bottle. His name's Sergey. He never told me, but I'm sure he's a Russian spy. My mom, her name's Blossom. She's a scissors. I get my style and good looks from her. Here's another fact. I'm not a robot. I'm a splat. In fact, that's my name. Splat. So I'm announcing to the world, I'm an ink splat, and I'm back. Have you ever gone somewhere, say a party or the beach, just to have some fun, and there they are, someone bigger, taller, louder, and just plain mean? They're called bullies. You can meet them anywhere, anytime, any day of the week. You might want to tell them off like buzz off, Bob, chillax, Max, or get out of my face, Ace. But don't, because I'm here to tell you that approach never works. So here's my advice. Go home, pick up a pencil and paper, or just go to your computer and write a letter or email that goes like this. Hey, you dumb sleazy rock for a brain loser. I hope aliens come down and shoot lasers at your pants. After you let the hot air out of your balloon, take that paper, rip it up, or just push that delete button and send that email to oblivion. Then take a deep breath and just say to yourself, hey, I just avoided being crushed by that meteor with a rock for a brain. I'm brilliant. I'm back. Oh yeah. Feel that? I'm back. When I'm not in school, I have an after-school job at a shoe factory, but I got laid off. That's a nice way of saying you've been fired or fried or whatever. My boss McDuffie messed up and told his boss McDougal that it was my fault. Then zap. I'm out of a job. I put shoelaces through holes in tennis shoes. My boss McDuffie forgot to order enough laces, so 100 shoes were shipped to stores without laces. Instead of my boss McDuffie taking the blame, he told his boss McDougal that I was slow and sent the shoes off without laces. So I thought, should I tell my boss he's a liar? Should I tell his boss McDougal the truth? So I did what any non-wimp would do. I snuck into my boss's office and found the order slip to prove that he didn't order enough shoelaces. Then I sent the proof to the big boss McDougal, and McDuffie got fired. McDougal gave me McDuffie's old job, and I got his desk by the window. But then I felt bad and hired McDuffie to do my old job, tying shoelaces and sneakers. That didn't work out too well. McDuffie got me fired again. What's the lesson here? I don't know. See ya. It's summer, and Grandpa Splat's taking my brother Digital and I on a road trip. He says we can't bring cell phones, iPods, or laptops. We're going into exile. Grandpa thinks too much technology will suck kids' brains out. I reminded him I'm 16, old enough to have my driver's license, and if I want to have my brain sucked out, it's legal. He wasn't having it, not on his road trip. We took off at a snail's pace with Grandpa at the wheel, and everyone was honking at us. Our first stop was a used bookstore. I never been to one before. I got a bunch of dusty comic books. Digital got ripped up skateboard magazines. Grandpa bought a torn up atlas of the U.S. with no cover. He wouldn't let us take a camera, so he got us books with blank pages. I said, how are we supposed to read this?
It's a journal. You can write and draw in it, like Michelangelo.
Our second stop was Vegas. Digital and I stood at the edge of the casino watching Grandpa. He lost all his quarters in a slot machine, so instead of sleeping in a hotel, we got downgraded to a motel with beds like cement. Next, we drove to the Grand Canyon, walked onto a see-through observation platform, and looked down. Digital got dizzy and threw up. I begged Grandpa to stop at an internet cafe. I felt trapped in a time warp before the invention of computers. Digital was driving me crazy. He brought his drumsticks and was banging out beats on the window of the front seat in my head. I finished my comic books and I couldn't write another word in my journal. I was sick of playing tic-tac-toe with Digital, who, by the way, cheats. Then we passed a sign that read, "Welcome to the state of New York."
Julian, Digital, stop punching and kicking each other. We're going to the Big Apple.
Digital and I were psyched. We climbed the Statue of Liberty and rode a subway. Grandpa bought us skateboards, and we went to Central Park for a Splat family reunion. I met a whole bunch of cousins that look like me. It was awesome. Grandpa sold his Lincoln, and we flew home back to the future. Someone's sending me texts. I don't know who it is. She's texting things like,
I really, really, really like you.
having a secret admirer sucks. I can't stop wondering who she is. So I went to the cupcake shop to see if it might be Sarah, the girl behind the counter. She wears a pink t-shirt that says Cupcake Days, a name tag that spells Sarah, and a paper cupcake crown. I stood outside the glass door trying to build courage to go in and see if she's the one who texted me. She never noticed me before. I finally opened the door. It made an annoying ding-dong sound. Sarah had her back to me. She was making hot cocoa for a customer. When she heard the ding-dong sound, she turned and looked straight at me. When our eyes met, it was magic. I knew she was the one who texted me. Confident, I strutted over there and stood behind the cocoa customer. They were having a conversation about cupcakes, blah, blah, blah. This dude was cutting into my once-in-a-lifetime moment with Sarah. Finally, it was my turn. Sarah stood there looking amazing. Her paper cupcake crown almost sparkled. I was speechless.
Well, what do you want? We have a big special on 2-day-old wasabi mango cupcakes. They're not moldy yet.
So I said, I'll take a fresh baked red velvet with cream cheese frosting. I was trying to impress her.
Wow, big spender. $1, please.
This was my chance, so I took it. How would you like to go to my pal's zombie costume party Saturday night?
I'm not into zombies. That's so 4th grade. And there's 3 customers behind you.
Did you text me?
Text you? Why would I do that?
So I gave her $1, grabbed my cupcake box, turned and walked to the door, which made that loud, awful ding-dong sound again, and slammed shut. That was the worst. I lost the girl, lost my $1, and lost my pride. So what's the lesson here? Don't fall for girls who wear ridiculous paper cupcake crowns. I'm headed to the used bookstore now. There's a girl that works there who wears big black glasses and looks really smart. She sold me a used Harry Potter book last week. I'll strike up a conversation about wizards and goblins. I like her hair. It looks like she's been in an electric storm. At school, Bobby Wurlitzer made fun of me. He yelled across the lunch table so everyone could hear.
Hey, Splat! You sound like a frog!
It bothered me. I can't help what my voice sounds like. All day I couldn't get what Bobby said out of my mind. I kept imagining what it would be like to have another voice. Maybe I'd be more popular, and I'd be picked to be goalie for the soccer team. In Miss Sim's science class, I'd raise my hand and get to answer first.
If I sounded like the guy on the Old Spice commercial, I would be given enough deodorant to last a lifetime. Now that's tempting. Now look over there. Now over here. Now back to me. Now over there. Now...
Hey, yo, shut up! When I talked like a tough guy bully, I could cut a line at the movies and no one would say anything.
If I had a proper English accent like the Prince of England, I might get to rule a nation.
So the whole day I walked around talking like different people.
With different voices, and guess what? I gave the wrong answer in Mr. Sim's class, even though I sounded like Albert Einstein.
At tryouts for the school play, I spoke in my best British accent for King Lear's part, and I was picked as the silent court jester. Can you bloody well believe it?
When I talked like the Old Spice guy in PE class, the guys just threw their smelly deodorant sticks at me.
So the next day at lunch, I saw Bobby Wurlitzer. I yelled across the lunch tables, "Hey, Wurlitzer! I like my voice, and I like being me! Dude, I dare you to come over here and give me your best animal impressions." Bobby laughed. Cooley walked across the lunch tables like a stuntman and jumped down in front of me. I said, "You go first, Holmes." And he did. Then it was my turn. I won. That night, Ruby Daniels, the head cheerleader, asked me to be her friend on Facebook. I have a brother named Digital. I haven't talked about him because I'm too busy talking about myself. Digital's 12 years old and annoying. My dad got Digital a music program for his computer. We had to soundproof his room. He makes loud, crazy music. One day he came in my room, shoved a CD in my computer and said,
"Splat! What do you think about my song? I'm gonna put it up on YouTube!"
So I listened. It was awful. In fact, he recorded a cat crying and repeated it 1,000,000 times in the song. Hey, sound guy, stop! Should I tell my brother his music sounds bad, like fingernails scraping a chalkboard? No. Instead of crushing his spirit, I pretended to be asleep at my computer. I needed to think my way out of this. I'd perfected the fine art of not lying, but not telling the truth either. I couldn't take the chance of Digital not talking to me till we're Grandpa Splat's age. Digital came in my room and screamed,
"Splat! I tried to find you all day at school! Do you like my song? Huh? What's your problem?"
I had an idea. I looked at my fish tank behind Digital, and I said to my bro, "I always wanted to make a song with you. What if you record the sound of my pet fish and turn down that adorable cat crying like a banshee? If you don't take my advice, it's gonna really hurt my feelings." Digital ran to get his microphone, recorded my fish, and quit bothering me. The next day he came back and said, "How do you like this? I turned down the cat and put in the fish." Still awful. So I told Digital, why don't you go record Mom making a smoothie and put that in your song? He ran like a flash. Helping Digital make music brings us closer but keeps him out of my room. I got important stuff to do. Splat you later. I had a dream last night that I was a superhero. Do you believe in dreams? Do you believe they really mean something? There I was, standing in a cape and blue tights. I was catapulted back in time to the prehistoric age. There were dinosaurs everywhere. Tyrannosaurus Rex, the flying ones, all shapes and sizes chasing me. I ran until I came to a rock mountain and couldn't escape. It was do or die time. I turned around and started picking up those prehistoric creatures, flinging them like baseballs until they disappeared into the atmosphere like dots. In my dream, I was all-powerful. After I defeated the dinosaurs, I time-traveled ahead to the Stone Age. A dozen cavemen were surrounding me in a cave. I wrestled them all to the ground and rendered them helpless. I kicked a hole in the cave wall until I saw sunlight and climbed to safety. All of a sudden, my alarm clock went off. I woke up feeling fantastic, strong, and invincible. So I asked myself, does this dream mean I'm really all that? An all-powerful superhero? Or maybe it was the day-old squid and seaweed chow mein that I ate for dinner last night that gave me crazy dreams. If you guess the right one, you'll have a real understanding of just who I am. 'Cause I sure don't. See ya! In our class, our assignment was to make a short video. Mr. Lopez said there'd be 3 students in each pod. One would be the producer. That's the person who bosses everyone around. One would be the director. That's the person who bosses the actors around. And one person gets to be the lead actor. They get all the attention. Mr. Lopez chose the pods, so Simon, Serena, and I got stuck together like 3 peas in a pod. I never really liked those guys. We had 2 weeks to finish the movie before the film festival at the school assembly. We got to borrow the school's video camera. The first day we met after school and argued. We all wanted to be the lead actor. I lost that one. Simon is the show-off, so he got to be the main actor. Serena is the pushiest, so she got to be the producer. And they thought I talked too much, so I got to be the director. The rest of the week we met and argued about the script. Simon wanted to make a comedy, Serena wanted to make a drama, and I wanted to make a silent film. So after fighting for days, we decided to make a no-talking, crazy, funny, miserable, sad film. The story is about 3 clowns in a 3-ring circus. The number 1 clown juggles and hula hoops in the center ring. But the number 2 clown is jealous and steals number 1 clown's hula hoops. He thinks then he'll get all the attention. But the number 3 clown steals the 2nd clown's giant ball that he walks on, leaving the number 2 clown with a dumb stick and a plate he balances on his chin. Then clown number 2 gets super mad and hides number 3's giant shoes and deflates his ball, leaving him with only a plastic flower boutonniere that squirts water. The ringmaster goes nuts and throws them together in the main ring because now they're all boring. Our pod's film won first prize. We put our video on YouTube, and a big Hollywood movie studio wants to make a blockbuster about the 3 clowns. Psych. Just kidding. I was called to China on a top secret mission. I'm a super spy trained in ancient kung fu secrets. That's right, I'm going to China to kick butt. My job? Rescue Ling Li, the beautiful spy girl. She's been captured by the evil crime boss Kung Pao. When I get to China, danger ensues. I have to scale the side of a building because 7 ninjas are chasing me. I fight them off and I pull myself up to the roof. Then take a running jump and land on top of the next building. That's parkour, fools! I peek over the edge of the roof. And I see a man pushing a vegetable cart. When I look back, I see the 7 angry ninjas coming after me. I make a quick decision, and I leap under the vegetable cart. 3 stories below. Ah! Tomatoes splash everywhere. I say sorry to the Chinese man pushing the cart. Do be quiet. I look to the right. Run down a small dark alley and duck into a noodle shop. The food smelled good. I sit down and eat noodles with chopsticks. All of a sudden, the cook rushes from the kitchen in an apron, swinging nunchucks like a bandit. Okay, time to split. I throw a large bowl of noodles in his face, blinding him for seconds so I can escape. Ah! Heck, I was hungry and those noodles were the bomb. I'll have to come back when the cook's been fired. Anyway, beautiful Ling Li was taken on a boat headed for the China Sea. I ran to the bridge just as her fishing boat passed beneath. Ling Li was tied to a mast. I looked back on the bridge and saw ninjas racing towards me. I took a flying leap, hoping to land smack in the boat and save Ling Li. Then I heard someone calling me. It was my mom. What was she doing in China?
Splat, sweetheart, wake up. It's the Chinese New Year. Woo-hoo! Dad and I are taking you to Chinatown for some dim sum.
I love dumplings. When I woke up, I realized all that kung fu stuff was just a dream. But I still plan on being a stuntman in a kung fu movie one day. Say hi! That's Chinese for see ya. Dude, this sucks. I got in trouble in school today because my teacher said I wasn't following rules. So Mr. Boxer, my teacher, gave me detention after school for the next 3 days. He's making me write an essay about rules. I have to read it in front of the loser detention class tomorrow. So I thought I'd practice on you guys. No offense. Here goes. There are billions of stars in the universe, and just as many rules in the world that we have to follow. Our country's forefathers wrote a constitution with lots of rules. At school, there's rules. At work, there's rules. In theaters, they give us big rules, like turn off your cell phones. And the ever-popular monster rule, no throwing popcorn at the backs of people's heads. Which, by the way, is totally awesome fun. So here's my question. Why do we have to follow rules? What's the big deal? Why does everyone have to chew with their mouth closed? If everyone chewed with their mouth open, then no one would care. What if interrupting someone when they're talking was okay? Then everyone would talk at the same time and boring conversations would be shorter. You wouldn't have to hear half of the dumb stuff people say. There are lots of arguments for not following rules. It can cause chaos and probably a big mess. But on the upside, we could all be having a blast. So go ahead, chew your food with your mouth open, don't wear socks in winter, and watch TV standing on your head. The downside, I'm sure Mr. Boxer will give me an extra day of detention if I stand up for my no rules rule. Bad idea. Rewrite. Splat you later. I see all these crazy people on the internet vlogging in their messy bedrooms. Well, if messy's what's getting these guys' attention, then check it out. I win. In fact, I could go in one better. My dad's been on my case lately, but it started me thinking.
Son, listen. In order to be prepared for tomorrow, you got to plant the seeds of your future today. You gotta go outside, you got to plant that seed, and one day it grows up into your future. You following me? Why you look so confused?
What's he talking about? At first I thought he wanted me to grow cabbage in the backyard for borscht. But he had a deeper message.
In the old country, at your age, we were already thinking about what we would do when we grow up. Some people would be wrestling bears in the Red Square, not me. Ouch! I decided I'm going to go to the KGB, which of course is the Kremlin Graphics Bureau. It's an art school. It's where I learned how to draw pictures.
He says he's an illustrator, but I know he dreamed of being James Bond. So I made a list of my dream jobs. Number 1, WWE wrestling star. Number 2, taste tester in a frozen dessert factory. And number 3, pro video game player. That's right. It's hard to decide, but one job stood out. News reporter. I love that job. They get to travel everywhere and ask everyone questions. I think I have the good looks and personality to be great at that job, and I'm gonna prove it. For you computer nerds, here's a little digital Photoshop magic. I'll change my messy bedroom into another world. Hold on. I'm gonna send some tough questions into cyberspace for the President of the United States. Here goes. Yo, President, people say the world is a mess today, and your job is to clean it up. Do you drop your dirty clothes on the floor or in the hamper? People want to know. It's a good indicator if you've got the chops to handle tidying up the planet's problems. And another question. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you think about? Is it how can I solve the Earth's problems today? Or what's for breakfast? So, please vlog back. No pressure. My future career just depends on it. Signing off. This is Splat, vlogging from my messy bedroom. Mother's Day is the most important day of the year. You have to be on your best behavior so you can pay your mom back for the other 364 days when you treated her like a piece of furniture. I wanted to do something special for my mom, to show her I'm not just a smack-talking, smart-aleck, sarcastic teenager. So, I found her old CD collection to see what music she listened to before she was a mom. I saw this weird CD with a picture of a guy named Prince on it who looked like a prince. I checked the internet and found out Prince was having a concert downtown on Mother's Day. So that weekend I took the money I saved from my after-school job and told my mom, we're going downtown. We got there, found our seats, the lights went out, and everyone started screaming. Prince came out dressed like a prince, looking fly, dancing, singing, and playing amazing guitar. When Prince told everyone, clap your hands, my mom clapped hers. When Prince told everyone, you can dance if you want to, my mom danced like crazy. When he told everyone to sing along to the music, my mom knew all the words and was screaming them out.
Corvette!
Who was this lady next to me? I never saw my mom act like this.
Woohoo! Ow!
There was some old guy sitting next to me who was jumping up and down, waving his arms in some weird, awful dance. He kept bumping me and almost knocked me 2 rows below in someone's lap. My mom hugged me and said,
Honey, thanks for the best Mother's Day I have ever had. Woo!
That made me feel great. Since that concert, my mom's changed. She used to wash dishes in the kitchen, but now she's dancing in the dining room. She used to vacuum in the living room, but now she's dancing on the sofa. In the bathroom, she scrubbed the sink, but now she's dancing in the tub. And while the clothes are in the dryer, she's spinning around. What happened to my mom? I think Prince cast a spell on her. Whatever magic he's got, I want some of it. I'm asking my mom for guitar lessons. Maybe I could get the girls delirious over me. There's a party at Sam's Saturday night. I better start practicing some of my dance moves. Gotta get my Prince on. Peace out. I need a summer job. My mom said to check out the internet, so I sent out 378 job applications. I only got one response. They didn't tell me what kind of job it was, but the place was called the Paradise. So I got on the bus and rode downtown. The sign read, Paradise Ballroom Dance School. I was psyched. I loved to dance. The owner's name was Rubelia. Her dance partner was Laszlo. She wore fancy sparkly clothes, lots of makeup, and her hair stood up 12 inches. Rubelia said she'd let me try out. She needed an assistant dance teacher. Then she put an old scratchy record on the turntable. When I heard it, I said, wait a minute. I pulled out my iPod, put in my earplugs, and started dancing to electronic club banging stuff. Rubelia kept playing a record, but I kept dancing my way. When I finished, she thanked me and said this was a dance school for senior citizens. She didn't want to break their bones. I just kept looking for jobs. I went in a piñata store and told them I love to bust piñatas. I went into a tire shop and told them I'd jump on their tires for testing. At an office, I told the receptionist I'd sharpen her pencils. She told me to get lost. That hurt. I just kept looking. The summer was almost gone, and I still couldn't find a job. One day, I got on the bus. The man I always see sitting up front sat next to me. He said his name was Armando. He asked me,
Chico, why do you ride the bus every day?
I told him I was looking for a summer job, but no one hired me. He said,
Well, I will have to hire you. Riding the bus every day, looking for a job shows good character.
That made me feel great. Armando makes guitars for mariachis. If I work for him, he'll teach me how to play guitar. I start next week. I always wanted to be a mariachi. Something mysterious happened to me. My mouse disappeared. I wonder if someone stole Mouse. I always kept him in my room. Mouse was the best. I never let anyone else play with my mouse, ever. My friends always wanted to hold my mouse. I told them, get your own mouse. I nicknamed my mouse Yeckum. Spelled backwards, it's M-I-C-K-E-Y, Mickey. It's an homage to that other famous mouse. I could think of a list of suspects who wanted my mouse.
RoboSplaat's innocent!
So I called a bunch of people and asked them, hey, did you take my mouse? Yeckum made my life better. He stayed on my desk in my room. When I opened my eyes in the morning, he was always there. And he was the last thing I looked at before I closed my eyes at night. I knew I could always count on my mouse. He was my best friend. 2 weeks passed. I just moped around. Life wasn't the same without Yeckum. I looked everywhere for my mouse. I even made lost mouse posters and put them up in my neighborhood. My mom told me she'd get me another mouse, but I wasn't ready to give up on Yekum. Then one day I came home, and there he was, back on my desk in the same place where I left him. So I sat down on my desk, turned on my computer, picked up my mouse, and started sliding and clicking away. I wrote this story with my mouse. I never solved the mystery of what happened to Yekum. I guess I'll never know. See ya!